Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to the second or the next poem of John Donne prescribed for you in your syllabus, A Valediction Forbidding Mourning, as I told you, written by John Donne. This poem is one of the most remarkable pieces written by John Donne. It was written in 1611 when Donne was going to France with his friend for some official purpose, leaving his most beloved pregnant wife back home. So it is a time of departure from his wife, whom he loved most, for whom he also he was imprisoned. So that was the love, that was the level of love for his wife. So this is the moment, and the name of his wife, as you know, anymore. So at the time of parting from the wife when he was going to France, this poem was occasioned. It was published in, it was written in 1611. Let's come to the title. Title: Valediction is an action or a speech which refers farewell. So it's a farewell kind of action. Valediction means farewell. You can say farewell, any act of farewell. And forbidding mourning means he is objecting mourning. Mourning means crying or expressing sorrow. So he, at this particular moment, definitely it's a sad moment from general point of view. But John Donne does not want his wife to express any sorrow, though he is parting for a long time. So that she does not cry, she does not weep, or she does not become so sad or sorrowful, Donne writes this poem in the form of a kind of farewell speech. Now let's come to the theme. What is the theme you find here? Absolutely, he is a remarkable love poet, we can't forget it. And here he writes about the conjugal love, conjugal platonic form of love. He is not talking about the physical love or sexual, sensual love that he considers as lust. So he is here mainly foregrounding spiritual form of love. So he believes that if this spiritual form of love, spiritual means union of two true minds and two true heart, that is the spirituality. So if this kind of bondage is there between the couple, then that becomes spiritual, and it is contrasting with the other form of love, that is earthly love. I told you, earthly love is just love bound by physicality. One is attracted to the physical aspects of the opponent, of the partner. But in the spiritual love, one is solely concerned, one is solely tied by the bondage of true love, true feeling. Their union is between two souls and minds. In another point of view, we can extend the theme from parting to death. This parting might symbolically indicate death, the permanent parting. So he tries to say here, if there is a true feeling of love, true bondage of love, even death cannot truly part two lovers. So from this point of view, we can say that there is a kind of holiness here in this poem. This is another dimension of the theme. Love, but kind of holy love, spiritualization of the love. A kind of piousness is referred here. So this poem is also about the contrast between the sensuous love or sexual love, and he means that sexual love or sensual love is confined, is limited by the physical nearness. When you are physically away, your love goes away. But if there is a spiritual level of love, if there is true feeling for each other in the heart and soul, then even if you go away, the bondage remains the same forever. So you can achieve immortality in love only by spiritualizing your love, only by reaching that level of the combination of soul and mind. Another theme, not exactly theme, another feature here is the autobiographical feature. This poem was definitely inspired by his own practical experience when he was going to France along with his friend, leaving behind the wife who was pregnant, and the kind of feeling he was feeling for the wife and the wife's feeling for him, and how he tried to soothe the wife. Rhyme scheme, interesting, very rhythmic here. Every stanza, you have quatrain. Quatrain means 4-line stanza. 4-line stanzas are there, so it is quatrain. You have so many quatrains, 9 quatrains. You have 9 quatrains, and the rhyme scheme is A B A B, C D C D means end rhyme. End of the lines will be rhymed like this: A B A B, C D C D, E F E F, like that. And every line you have 10 syllable per line. And alliteration you will have. Within the line you have the repetition of consonant sound, it creates a rhythm. I will give you example where the alliteration, the repetition of the consonant sounds. Now let's come to the text. So I already told you, it is the setting, the situation is that the speaker, John Donne himself, is going to France for quite a considerable time, leaving wife back at home. So this is the moment. Obviously this is a very sad kind of moment, and the wife is naturally, like every other woman, will be sad when his beloved and husband is going away for such a long time. Moreover, she is pregnant now. But Donne is trying to convince her not to cry, not to be sorrowful, by giving so many examples, by giving so many arguments. Like a typical metaphysical poet, he is giving argument after argument so that she does not be sorrowful here. So let's start. This is the occasion. Now he begins with a very logical way, with a very logical and argumentative manner towards his wife. So again, two speaker, very dramatic, as metaphysical poems are, very dramatic. Wife is listening, though silent. John Donne is speaking to her, trying to convince her. What John Donne says: as virtuous men pass mildly away and whisper to their souls to go, whilst some of their sad friends do say, the breath goes now, and some say no. A beautiful imagery has been created here. Imagery, a picture, you see. Donne is saying, when the virtuous means very great people, pious people, holy people, as we say, not Purush but Mahapurush, that kind of people, when they are dying, they don't make noise. They are not sad. Because this holy man, this great man, they believe this life is temporary and life after death is the actual life, you are going to have, maybe in heaven or wherever. So that will be the real life, and that will be the meaningful and peaceful life. So they don't make any noise, though they know that we are dying. But the lesser man, the common man, if they know that you will die tomorrow or you are dying now, then they will make even cry. But a great man, a pious man, holy man, even when dying, they die gracefully. They die with art. Very peacefully they accept the death, Though their friends sometimes maybe nervous, maybe anxious, they will say, hey, see, he is dying. Some will say, no, he cannot die now, like that. But the person, the great man who is dying, he is silent, he is very peaceful. So because he accepts the death very peacefully. Similarly, Donne is saying, like that great man, let us melt and make no noise. We are also parting. Partition, though it is temporary, but equivalent to death. That great man's death, because it is kind of staying away from the beloved even for 1 month is a kind of death for Donne and the beloved. So Donne is saying, though we are parting, but we should not make noise. Noise means crying, making human cry, crying or weeping. Please don't cry. Like the pious man, let us accept our partition It may be temporary, it may be permanent, gracefully. No tear floods, no sorrowful tears should come out from your eyes, nor sigh tempests move. Even you cannot sigh, not that kind of sigh, it is kind of tempest for me. Your sigh is equivalent to tempest, equivalent to storm. So, no sighing nor tears, please. Let us, like the great man, very peacefully part. It were profanation of our joy. If you cry now when I am parting from you, it will be like a profanation. Profanation means insult of our joys. It will be an insult of our joys of being together, being in love. Such a beautiful relation we had. Our relation of love will be insulted. Will be insulted if you cry now, because you don't have faith on my feeling for you, on my relation with you. That maybe you are thinking that I am going, I may not come back, or I will go away with someone else. So it will be kind of insult. So don't cry. Don't insult by crying our partition or my feeling. To tell the lady our love. So let us, by crying, let us not insult, let us not show our kind of disgrace to our feelings, our relation. To whom? To the common people. Laity means common man. So we should not insult our love by crying, making human cry, and we should not expose this kind of thing to the common man. They do not know anything. Stanza 3. Moving of the earth brings harms and fears, man reckon what deed and mean. There is a kind of threefold comparison here. Another imagery has been given here by Donne. He is a scholar. He takes imagery from different fields. So here he takes an imagery of earthquake, moving of the earth, when earth shakes during the earthquake. It is very harmful. It destroyed certain elements and people are very nervous. There is even cry running here and there when the earthquake comes. And immediately after the earthquake, people speculate what is destroyed. The earthquake was there. Maybe this was destroyed. Maybe that building collapsed. So this kind of speculation all around is there. But trepidation of the spheres, though greater far, is innocent. Earthquake shakes the earth for some time, but there is a big hue and cry. But in comparison, think about the trepidation of sphere. Sphere means the planets. For example, our earth. Our earth is moving around the sun in circle. Donne is a scholar. He brings example from solar system here. Solar system, astronomy. So planets like earth, moves around the earth. In spheres, in circles, it moves around the earth. This movement of the earth and this movement of the planets is far greater than the earthquake. The movement, shaking of the earthquake is very small compared to the movement of the sphere. But do you feel that? Do you feel that even though earth, when it is moving around the sun, there is a huge movement, but nobody feels it, very silently. The earth or the planet is doing it with an art. There is an art of the movement here. Very slowly and steadily it is moving, that's why you don't feel it. And totally innocent, nobody knows it. So, similarly, though we are parting, maybe it is a temporary kind of shaking, but like the great trepidation of the spheres, we should also be silent, because our partition is even greater than that. Dull sublunary lovers love. Now coming to the stanza 4, he beautifully, one of the theme here, the real love. What is the real love for Donne? For Donne, platonic love is the real love. Platonic means spiritual love, not the physical union, but the union of the soul and mind. There are two kinds of lovers, two forms of love. One is sensual love, earthly love, another is spiritual love. If you love your beloved, if you like your beloved only for her body, then it is the sensual love. It is dull. It is called by John Donne as dull, sublunary lover's love. Donne dull, very derogatory form of love, which normally a common man involve this kind of love. And this kind of love is only sensuous love, whose soul is sense. The main soul backbone of this kind of relation is the sense. Sense means your five senses, whatever with the five senses you can feel. I can see my beloved, how beautiful she is, I can touch, she is very soft, all this kind of thing. So this is a sensuous love. And this form of love, sensuous love or sexual love, actually we cannot call it love, it is lust, LUST. So this love will die when physically your partner is absent. This love, sensual love, is only there till you are together. When body is absent, your love is also absent. That's why this kind of love cannot last long. If you simply love your beloved by her beauty, physical beauty, after 10 years, the physical beauty of your beloved will be off. Does that mean your feeling will also be off? Or it will not remain the same? Of course, if you only love her physicality, then it won't last long. Because physical absence. And secondly, if your beloved goes away somewhere as a separation, the next moment that kind of love will be over. Absence of body cannot be tolerated by this kind of love. Those things which eliminated it, because body is the only basis of this kind of love. But we by a love so much refined, but our love is not like that. Our love, my love for you, trust me, it is very refined, it is very pure, that ourselves know not what it is. Even we don't know what is the level, what is the quality of our love. It is beyond even our understanding. That form of love we have achieved. Inter-assured of the mind. We have an understanding of the mind, soul, not the body. Body is not required anymore. Because overcoming the body, bypassing the body, we have reached the mind and soul level. So, our relation is no more dependent on our body, like eyes, lips, hands. I don't care. Even if you become old, your eyes becomes very old. Your lips, no more attractive like before, no more cherry like before. Even your hands become, brooding. No problem for me, because I love your soul and your mind. That level. It is refined, pure love. So whether your body is there or not, whether you are with me or not, my relation, my feeling will be there forever with you. Our two souls, therefore, which are one, though I must go, endure not a breach but an expansion. So don't worry. Since we have a true feeling for each other, though we are going away from one, suppose we become one, your soul and my soul, here the mathematics is like that, 1 plus 1 is equal to 1. This is the mathematics of love. So we have become one now. Now if I go away to France, or even if I die, I will be taken away. Our relation will be stretched, it will be pressurized. If something is too much pressurized, then it breaks. Normally, but not gold. This is the conceit used by Donne here. Comparison, wonderful and a very extended kind of comparison. He is comparing gold or the status of the gold with his relation with the beloved. Gold, when it is heated and, when it is beat, when you are pressurizing the gold time and again, gold does not break, it expands. Plus, it expands and it becomes more dazzling, brighter, Similarly, if I go away from you now, it will be a separation, but this separation will not end our relation, it will not break our relation. In fact, this separation will increase our feeling. That is the reason, true lovers say that sometimes separation is necessary. When you are separated from your beloved, then you really understand the value, if there is true feeling for her. So this my partition is a kind of extension of my love, like the piece of gold. When you are pressurizing, I am pressurizing, but this pressurizing separation will increase the feeling of love for you. The love will be broader, bigger, larger for you. Plus, the love will become more mature, brighter, like the gold. When the gold is beaten, it becomes brighter, it expanded. Similarly, separation is like kind of beating. This separation will only expand our love and it becomes brighter, better. Stanza 7. If they be two, they are two so, as teeth twin compasses are two. See, Donne here using the most remarkable, most memorable metaphysical concept ever he has written. The conceit of compass, legs of compass. He is using a comparison with two legs of compass. Their relation, Donne and the beloved, is being compared with a compass. Very unlikely, two very different kind of image, but still he is comparing. That's why it is a conceit, and it is one of the best conceit ever written by Donne. He is saying, see, I told you now, 1 plus 1 is equal to 1. Okay, let's say not 1. Even if you say that, okay, we are two separate bodies, fine. But though we look separate, you are you, I am myself. Though we look separate, but actually we are not separate. Like the legs of the compass, we are also joined on the top. Okay, joined on the top. This top means spiritual level. This top means soul and heart level. True love, it starts from physicality, but it ends in the true bondage of heart and soul. So our love, our body, though it looks separate, but we are binded by, like the compass, how it is binded on the top, we are also tied by the true feeling for each other. Thy soul, the fixed foot, makes no show to move, but doth if the other do. Like the compass, you see here, there are two legs. The fixed leg in the middle, this leg is you, my dear beloved. He is telling the wife, you are the middle leg, this leg which is fixed on the center, and the other leg is myself. Other leg is myself. And when I move, you also move a little, you also incline a little. That means you are always with me. Even if I am away, wherever I am going, you are thinking about me. So you are always with me. And though it in the center sit, yet when the other far doth room, it leans and hearkens after it. This leg, central leg, is the beloved, and the other leg is the lover, John Donne. John Donne, wherever it is going, here and there, this leg, beloved leg, it also moves little, though the point is in the center, but its body is moving, means her heart and mind is always thinking about Donne. So that way moving, thinking and listening and collecting information about the lover all the time. She does not, tolerate. She does not move here and there. She is fixed here, but little bit movement all through is there. The point is fixed, but the entire body moves with Donne. Wherever Donne goes, the other leg goes here and there. It moves and grows erect as that comes home. And when this other leg or Donne comes back she again, this central leg against erected means becomes straight. It was leaning when the other leg was going away, but when it comes nearer, it becomes straight. It becomes straight. Such wilt thou be to me, who must like the other foot obliquely run. So our relation, you and me, like the compass. Your main leg, you are like the main central leg which is fixed in one particular point. I am like the other leg which is circling around the fixed leg. So I may go to France, I may go to somewhere else, but I am always revolving around you. And if your thy firmness makes my circle just, thy firmness, if your point is fixed firmly, if it does not move here and there, if it is firmly fixed, I will definitely come back to you. Means if you remain faithful to me, I may go to France or wherever, I will certainly one day come back to you and march again, and makes me end where I began. So you will find me again from where I started my journey. Means I am starting my journey from you, from this room. So if you remain fixed in my relation like the central leg, compass of the leg, I will again come back to you here only. From where I started, I will again return here. So this is the poem. This is absolutely wonderful poem, how Donne tries to convince her about his faithfulness for her and their relationship, how devoted he is for this conjugal relation, the true relation, married life relation, but true relation is there. And to convince her, Donne takes help of so many conceits, imageries and arguments, no doubt about it. He takes the argument of gold being pressurized, legs of the compass, and the pious man's death, everything he is doing. But at the end, he successfully, brings the point, to her mind that he is going, but he will come back like the legs of compass. So, after the poem, a few points that are important for you. There may be question also. Conceit. This poem is remarkable for the use of conceit, as every metaphysical poem is. How many conceit do you have here? Comparison, very unlikely comparison. Dying virtuous man. There is an image of the man, the great man, how they die. They die very peacefully, gracefully, without making any noise, because they know the purpose of death, what is there after death. So this is being compared with their partition, that they should not make noise. Then he uses the conceit of compass. This is the most remarkable, this is the most famous conceit ever used. Compass, and how with the legs of the compass and their movement, their relation, lover's relation for the beloved is compared. Then again, another conceit is used, the gold. Gold is a ductile kind of metal. Even if you beat, it never breaks, it expands, it never leaves each other. So similarly, Donne and the beloved's relation is like fixed, attached. Even if you beat, even trying moment comes, but they are not separated. In fact, their relation becomes even firmer and better. Partition of the spheres, how again this situation is compared with earthquake and the planets movement in circles, etc. So Donne also compares their relation with the relation of the common man's relation. There are so many other relations which are earthly, sensuous love, but he compares with their love, which is purer. Imagery, of course, there is medievalism and scholasticism. Scholasticism means so many images has been taken from different fields of knowledge like science, geometry and astronomy, etc. Medievalism, this solar system in the medieval time, what was the belief? So this has been given here. Some other metaphysical feature in this poem that you find, in fact the theme is metaphysical, because he is not talking about the physical or sensuous love. This is physical theme. But when you talk about the spiritual theme, spirituality, or true feeling for you, bondage of the soul, you cannot see that. These are beyond physical form. Soul is not physical, metaphysical. So union of soul, spirit and spirituality is not physical, metaphysical. So the theme is metaphysical here. Entire poem, another feature of metaphysical poem is argumentative. Definitely it is very argumentative. In an argumentative manner, he is trying to convince the beloved, giving argument one after another, like gold, pious man, compass. These are the arguments he provides. And at the end, he convinces the wife. Logicality is there throughout the poem, logic after logic. Sometimes you forget whether it is a scene of the court, between a lawyer, judge and convicts, like that. He is also giving logic after logic, less emotion. And emotion is there, but intellectualizes the emotion, Emotion is intellectualized. Hyperboles are used, of course. Hyperboles are used, comparison is very unlikely comparison. Very hyperbolic. Like their relation is compared with the gold being beaten, with the trepidation of the spears. So these are big, comparison. Big exaggeration is used. Diction is like metaphysical. Very simple words have been used, but some compound, interesting words have been used here. Scholasticism is, of course, throughout. There is scholasticism. I told you. So these are the metaphysical features also you find here. So hope you understood this poem. Very nice poem. All kinds of metaphysical features are there. Besides, why this poem is remarkable is because of its glorification of conjugal, spiritual, platonic form of love. Thank you. Thank you very much.